Titan Nation, what's up?
Say it.
Host it again, hype now. Tell them boys to tighten up, tighten up.
Let me hear you say it.
Nissan come alive for them. Tell them boys to tighten up.
Hello and welcome to
Tighten
the
up.
show.
Let me hear you.
My name is Mr. Titan. Just like to welcome you guys back again for another episode. And we're just going to be talking about more Tennessee Titans stuff, guys. All right, so sit back, enjoy, and relax. This episode we'll be talking about the 2019 draft class. So there's not too much news going on lately about the Titans as of right now, but we definitely have the draft coming up this Saturday. So stay tuned for that. I know everyone's really, really hyped about that. I am too. I'm really excited for that. Did a couple new things to improve my videos. I got headsets. I got a mic now. Doing little things differently, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video as much as I will. So for this episode, like I said, we will be talking about the 2019 draft. I did get the official draft hat, if you guys can see it. And I'll show you a little bit more of it towards the end of the show about the draft hat. I really like it. It's really, really comfortable. So let's just talk about the draft, guys, all right? Let's talk about last year's draft picks and draft players and what J-Rob did. And I'm going to basically give an overall grade on all the picks we had. So here I go from, top 1, 2, 3, and we're just going to go off like that. All right, guys? So here you go. So the first round pick was number 19, 19th pick, right? It was Jeffrey Simmons from Mississippi State. And we all know already that was a steal in the draft, guys, right? That was the biggest steal in the draft, in my opinion. The reason why we picked him up, and I believe he fell so low, was just because of his ACL injury. Now, they didn't know, at the same time, they didn't know if he was going to play his rookie year or if he's going to sit out for the injury. Luckily for us, he came back earlier than expected, which was great. Now, here are some statistics from 2019 year. He had 32 sacks. I wish he had 32 sacks. 32 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 pass deflection. Okay? Which the stats aren't the greatest, but again, this is a player who came in at week 7. Yeah, that's when he came in, guys. He came in on week 7. I know because guess what? I was at the game. It was week 7 against the Chargers. And it was a hell of a game. It was a great game. I usually try to make a yearly trip to Nashville, Tennessee to watch the Titans game, usually between October. October is, I think, is one of the best times to go just because the weather's really, really nice. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. And it's great weather for football. So I went. That ending to that game was unbelievable as well. If you guys all remember, that goal line stands shows you what kind of Titan defense we got. Same thing happened in the Patriots game when he had that goal line stance. That changed the game, right? Same thing for that game. That time it won the game. In the Patriots game, it changed the whole game. So Jeffrey Simmons played. That was his first game. He had his first NFL sack as well. And, the place went nuts. Just nuts. Nissan Stadium was rocking, especially when he got that sack. And hopefully we see more Jeffrey Simmons sack against Phillip Rivers this year because, like you guys know, he's playing for the Colts. So anytime I see Jeffrey Simmons, I want Rivers on his ass for the most part. All right, so that's a big time. That's an A+ draft pick from J-Rob. It was a risky move again, but guess what? It paid off, right, guys? That injury, this is the reason why he get picked up earlier. And you know what? It worked out perfect for the Titans. So I really think Jeffrey Simmons, great impact player, awesome pick. Good job, J-Rob. Next person, all right? I got his jersey right there in the back. Just picked it up. It came in the mail a couple days ago. Second round, pick number 51, A.J. Brown from Mississippi. I mean, you can just go to YouTube right now and put highlights of A.J. Brown, and the guy is ridiculous. Great wide receiver. And I think, in my personal opinion, probably a lot of Titan fans' personal opinions, he should have been Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, come on, look at the stats. He had 52 receptions. He had 1,051 receiving yards. He had 60-yard rushing, and he had 9 touchdowns. Okay? I mean, we can't forget about some of the games. You know, his first start against Atlanta, he had 2 touchdowns in the first half already, just destroying. I thought he was going to have 4 that game just because he was just destroying Atlanta. They didn't have any answer for him. And man, he has jets. The minute those legs start moving, he's gone. You can't stop him. It's ridiculous. He's super quick. He has strong hands. He's physical. And that's one thing I love about him, is a physical wide receiver. And that's one of the things I love looking for in a wide receiver, is a physical wide receiver. Not just a speedster, but someone who likes to make contact after the catch. And he does that all the time. Same thing, look at the Raiders game when Tannehill threw him that slant. There was like two Raiders right there, and he still got in. He still scored a touchdown. And that was a slant, and there was two players on him. He's just a physical person, and I love it. And the same thing, remember that what was the other one? I mean, there's so much A.J. Brown highlights, it's not even funny. That ridiculous catch the last game against Houston. I mean, he's just gonna keep growing, and I can't wait. That Tannehill connection with him they had towards the end of the season is just gonna keep going. It's gonna get better and better. They're just gonna be, that's like the trio. You got Henry running, you got quarterback Tannehill, and then you got A.J. Brown. It's really nice to have a solid wide receiver who could catch, because as we all know, Titans have been more or less a team that likes to run the ball, and they've been a run team for most of their years. So now that we have, a wide receiver who could do multiple things, it's nice. I would like to see Arthur Smith, get the pass game going for the Titans. I love running the ball. Don't get me wrong, but it's nice to have a couple of plays with just airing it out, taking deep shots like we did last year, and hopefully it'll just improve. And some trickery as well. Trick plays aren't the worst things. I mean, you don't have to do it every single time, but at the same time, he had that Jonnu Smith run against the Texans, as well as some good trickery going on. And as long as we don't overuse it, I think it'll work out in the Titans' favor. So definitely A.J. Brown. That's another. I believe that's a A+. Another solid move from J-Rob, right? So the next one is a third round, pick number 82, Nate Davis from Charlotte. Now with Nate Davis, I was a little worried. I didn't like him too much. In the beginning of the year, he was, not guarding people very well, and he just wasn't playing very, very well. Especially that Jacksonville Jaguars games, if you guys remember Calais Campbell. But again, Calais Campbell's a really good player, but he was just mopping. He couldn't hold his own. He just couldn't do anything. It was a bad game. It was a really bad Jaguars game. But Nate Davis didn't help either. But for his defense, towards the end of the year, he did show improvement, and that's what you always want to see with these draft picks, right? And these draft players, that, you know, they show improvement and they keep going and they get better and better. They don't decline. They just, they make a mistake, and the next game they improve and improve. That's what Mike Rabel talks about, is improving, their mistakes. And Nate Davis, in my opinion, did that. And I think as long as he starts off as the Nate Davis he was at the end of last year and not the Nate Davis we had in the beginning of the year, he should, be right there. He should pick up, and I think he'll do great. I think he'll do really, really good. He impressed me towards the end of the year, and I only have nothing but, high hopes for Nate Davis. So, next person we have is fourth round, number 116. It was Amani Hooker, safety from Ohio. His stats were, he had 19 total sacks, right, guys? You didn't hear his name too much, which isn't too bad either, But at the same time, he's still young. He's 21 years old. He's 5'11". I know they'll probably want to have him play more snaps, especially this year than last year. He's trying to, get used to the system and stuff. And it's not much to say about him. Hopefully, he can have more improvement than he did last year. Maybe knock those, total tackles up to maybe like 30 to 40. We would like to see that a lot. And obviously play more games. So nothing but high hopes for him as well. Just, positive here, guys. That's all we are. We're positive, and we're also realistic, right? So the next person, the fifth round, it was number 166. We had DeAndre Walker from Georgia. Okay? He's the only one I would say, obviously he didn't play last year. He was placed on IR injured reserve August 10th of last year. Didn't play, was injured. But again, he's a young, 23 years old, 6'3". He's 245. So hopefully he has that motivation from last year that he was hurt the whole time to come back, work and kick some ass. And I'm excited to see what he brings to the table this year when he's not hurt at all. So that'll be a definite. That's a A+ for now, right? Because we don't know anything about him yet. But hopefully, I'm looking forward to see what he does on the field. I believe, I believe in J-Rob. So next person we have the sixth pick, number 188. We have David Long Jr. All right. Now, David Long had 15 total tackles. He had 1 pass deflection, and he had 1 fumble. And you remember that game? Does anybody remember the game where he popped the ball out, knocked it out? I believe it was a running back. It was the Kansas City Chiefs game. It was a home game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's the one where Rashad Evans picked the ball up, I think it was like 54 yards, and just ran it back. And again, that was a big-time momentum swing for the Titans. I mean, who knows what would have happened in the game if the Chiefs just kept on driving, because they were driving. If they were gonna score, they were close. They were just kept on driving. So you never know. So it was a big momentum, swing for the Titans' favor. And he played really, really good. David Long played really, really good in the playoff game against the Rams. He had I believe 6 tackles. So he did really, really well for such a young, upcoming player. So I think David Long, we'll see a lot more of him this year, because remember, this Titans team, as we're talking about right now, this Titans team is really, really young. They're just getting younger, they're getting stronger, and they're getting faster. Okay, we lost a lot of veteran leadership. You know, we lost Delaney Walker, we lost Jarrell Casey, we lost Logan Ryan. You know, we lost those players that were our veterans that were captains as well. Look at Wesley Woodyard; he's another person that left. So our offense and our defense and our young players need to really, really step up. And, I believe they will. I think they're being coached right, and I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. And I know a lot of critics and a lot of, ESPN, they don't like talking about the Titans. They don't like saying this. They don't like giving us credit at all. I don't know. I don't know if it's a Titan thing, but they usually never. I stopped watching ESPN just because of that, because last year when we were in the playoffs, they barely talked about us and talked about the other team all the time, or how the other team was going to win, and the Titans were, so I was kind of over ESPN from last year. But just saying, this draft class alone, these players impacted the 2019 Tennessee Titans for the playoff push. Look how many players actually played that playoff game and did something. David Long with the 6 tackles in the Ravens game. You had A.J. Brown. You had Nate Davis. Jeffrey Simmons. Causing some quarterback pressure. So my overall grade for J-Rob in this is an A-. He did perfect. The 2019 draft class was perfect. And guess what? I can't wait for the draft this Saturday because it's going to be great. I think J-Rod's going to make some moves. He's going to fill in some spots that, we as Titan fan needs, as the team needs, because him and Mike Vrabel, they work together, and they're a really good duo. They understand each other and know exactly what they need, the pieces they need to fit the Tennessee Titans. And I believe that as long as you have that mentality and that determination, that focus, I believe the Titans are in good hands. And I trust J-Rob, like I said before, 100%. And he knows how to lead a team. He knows how to manage a team. So I'm all on board with J-Rob on that one. So, guys, that's pretty much, we're going to wrap this up now. I do hope you enjoyed that video. I know it's, no current news, but, it's still Titans talk, and I love talking about the Tennessee Titans, and it's the draft. That's the most exciting, right now it's the most exciting thing happening out there, right? Because there's nothing happening, no sports and like that, so, we're all excited, we're all waiting for, the draft, and I do want to let you guys know that I will be doing a video. It's going to be April 25th. It's going to be a Saturday at 4 p.m. It's going to drop. So it's going to be talking about, who we picked up and basically grading them as well and seeing if J-Rob, did his job as a general manager to, keep this team, keep pushing forward. So definitely check out that video. That's Saturday, guys, all right? Saturday. And let me show you real quick the hat. If you guys want to, definitely should pick it up, especially for draft week. Hold on. And this is the hat right here. Just got the nice little tighten up and then the logo. So definitely, if you guys are willing, just pick one of those up. Hats are nice. And remember, just make sure you always remember to tighten up.
Say it again, hype now. Tell them boys to tighten up. Tighten up.
Let me hear you say it.
Nissan, come alive for 'em. Tell them